They'll demand more change and more change. In actuality, it isn't so much that they need change from us, but rather it's a manipulative tactic designed to avoid what they need to change. If you're busy trying to become a better person, they get to not have to take responsibility. They want you responsible for their behavior. So when they're telling you that you need help, what they're actually saying is that you have to be okay and accepting of their behavior. You need help with that. Being around an angry person can literally knock you to the ground. It can lead to depressive states where you might find yourself going to separate rooms just to avoid being around their energy. We're readers of energy. We can feel energy. So, energy, other people's energies affect us. You can be in a really great and happy mood, and they'll walk through the door, and without them saying anything at all, you're going to feel your energy drain, and your happy mood instantly turns into a feeling of yuckiness. It's like the feeling that a child would get if they had friends over and they were listening to music and singing and dancing, just kids having fun. And now the parent walks into the room full force and aggressively takes the music player out of the child's room, slamming the door on their way out. Party's over. That's that feeling. And then what about that person in the office that's always miserable, always has only negative things to say? It ruins things for everyone. No one wants to be around these people. It's utterly draining. When it comes to the narcissist, you're going to find a variety of ways that they show anger. And then again, you'll have different types of narcissists that will use anger in different ways, even though it isn't cut and dry. The covert is known for being passive aggressive, for example, but can also display overt aggression. But regardless of the type of anger, anger is anger, and being in the path of an angry person is never fun. Trying to avoid the wrath of their anger can be quite challenging as you're constantly trapped in a game of dodgeball. Sometimes you need to walk away, where other times walking away can aggravate them even further. Other times you find yourself playing extra nice just to survive in trying to keep their anger at bay. You're doing extra for them, not because they deserve it, but because you're trying to control the narrative of their becoming out of control, and it is exhausting. Survival mode is not a laughing matter. And those are the times that they're on the hunt looking for opportunities to attack. And so you are literally walking on eggshells. More so if they haven't succeeded in baiting you that day. Don't think that a good night's sleep is going to change their attitude the next day. The hunt is on until they get the fight that they've been after. So you might as well quit walking on eggshells and get it over with. It's so hard to live like that. It's really hard. It's hard on your stress levels. It's hard on your heart. It's hard on your mental health. Too much and too often of this anger, and the one on the receiving end begins to feel not only helpless, but hopeless. Days are spent just trying to get through another day. Now, one of the forms of anger that you'll see in narcissists is irritability. Everything seems to irritate them. If, for example, they walk in and start talking about their day and you can only half listen because something else is in need of your attention, they will become irritated. That irritation might be expressed in the looking upward or rolling of the eyes when you do respond to something that they say, in an attempt to show you that that response wasn't good enough, wasn't timely enough. They'll have an inkling to want you to feel stupid. They're angry at you and they're letting you know. It's passive aggressive. Then there's the types that will be openly aggressive. You'll see that behavior predominantly in the overt narcissist, although other types can display this type of aggression too. The covert is passive aggressive, but once push comes to shove, the 5-year-old tantrum comes out. And this type of anger looks like yelling, screaming, fits of rage, like jumping up and down, name calling. They might punch holes in the walls, pound on tables. It can be quite intimidating and threatening. They are letting you know that under no circumstance they are the boss and you will listen. It's not listen, you will obey. And this makes them feel all powerful. They're actually feeling like the child that puts on that Superman outfit. It releases all the pent up stuff that they felt inside. And once unleashed, they feel a total sense of relief. They feel good, really good, with no regard of how it's left you feeling. Matter of fact, the idea that it's left you feeling badly also makes them feel good. So, bonus. So, while you're sitting by yourself, trying to figure out how to get back on track with them and worrying about it, they are not. They're not worried about having left an unresolved issue. They got what they came for, which was energy, your energy. They're feeling way better. And if you pay attention, you'll see the change in mood. Look at their faces. They are at peace, they're content, and the behavior will be as though nothing ever happened. Another way that they'll show anger is through contempt. Once we get to contempt, it's pretty much game over. Once contempt enters a relationship, start packing. Contempt is poison to a relationship. If you look at the description of contempt in dictionary, it states it like this: the feeling that a person or a thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. The narcissist will develop contempt towards their partner when they feel that they aren't being appreciated or acknowledged. And although the partner does a lot to show appreciation or acknowledgement, with the narcissist, it is never enough. One time is too much. You failed. You betrayed them. You said, I won't let you control me. They're not going to look at the 20 things that you did to show acknowledgement. They're going to look at the one time you couldn't get to your phone fast enough to respond to their text. And they're going to demonstrate contempt through their body language, mockery, or the stare in the eyes of total disapproval and disgust with you. They're very blatant about it too, how they'll look at you. They'll look at you with the most hate in their eyes. And we too end up feeling contempt toward them. I mean, how can we not? We spend every waking hour trying to please them, but they're never happy. We try to become better people and look for ways to make the relationship work, but it's never enough no matter what we do. They'll demand more change and more change. In actuality, it isn't so much that they need change from us, but rather it's a manipulative tactic designed to avoid what they need to change. If you're busy trying to become a better person, they get to not have to take responsibility. They want you responsible for their behavior. So when they're telling you that you need help, what they're actually saying is that you have to be okay and accepting of their behavior. You need help with that. Time and time again, after never having your say in anything or being treated worse than a carpet to wipe your feet on, contempt fills your being too. With you, however, it stems from being emotionally abused. With them, it's used to bring you to your knees, to raise them up. They will deliberately hurt you and act in disdain via their tone of voice or sarcastic remarks. It's all designed to leave you feeling as though you are less than nothing. You are gum at the bottom of a shoe. A contemptuous look can feel pretty rotten. It's a horrible feeling. I mean, the fact that you've been in service of another for sometimes years and put up with so much of their crap can have such disrespect and disdain for you. It is a pit of the stomach, awful feeling that you never forget. It's dirty. Yeah, I hope you guys out there leave before that contempt arrives. Okay, so what about the passive aggressive anger type that I mentioned at the beginning? Typically, the passive aggressive trophy goes to the vulnerable, aka covert narcissist. But a malignant can also have that behavior at times. And this type of anger can be pretty confusing because you never know why they're angry. All you know is that you are being punished. They are full of resentment and believe that the world is against them. When they feel slighted, which is most of the time, they find ways to get back at you. And sometimes they'll even get back at you days after their perceived slight. And this slight could be something as menial as you not being completely enthralled by some conversation that they shared with you. Maybe you looked away for a split second. Oh my goodness. The aggression can look like breaking a promise that they made to you. Perhaps they had committed to repairing something of yours that you really needed repaired. And the day that they were to do this, they don't. You might have planned something where they were to watch the children and they'll wait until the last minute to let you know that they can't, with a smirk on their face. Passive aggressive behavior can also look like pouting. You'll ask them what's bothering them and they'll say nothing. But the look on their face says different. And now you feel awkward and guilty, but you don't know why. And they'll never tell you what they're upset about unless it's in an attacked version, and it'll be something made up anyway, even after the fact, because that would make them vulnerable, which they are. Anyway, it is stressful because you don't know from one day to another who is walking through the door that day. Is it Jekyll or is it Hyde? And the passive aggressive behavior is not necessarily coming from you, but it can be, for example, a coworker that got a promotion that they wanted, even though they didn't do anything to deserve it. And that anger is now coming to a theater near you. They'll look at ways to start fights. Then there is the anger of the malignant narcissist. And this type is very vengeful and can be quite dangerous. This is the anger of the person that, should you divorce, will take everything that matters away from you. At least they'll try. They will stop at nothing. The anger is over the top and cruelty is their top priority. They will find a way to get you fired. They will break into your place of business and cause so much damage that you will be forced to close. That happened to me. There will be custody hearings because they'll go after custody of the children when during the marriage never had an interest in them. The anger of the malignant narcissist is extremely dangerous because they're out to take your whole life away from you. But regardless of what type of anger your partner displays, anger is anger and is never a walk in the park. It is hard in every aspect of your life. It will affect the life of your children. It affects your state of mind. It affects your sleep, your health. It affects your ability to focus. It affects your peace, your joy. You listen to people in healthy relationships talking about their last weekend events or the fun they had on last year's vacation or the upcoming vacation and the fun they'll have. What was your past week like? What memories are you talking about? Do you have any memories that you can look back on and smile? Do you have any future events you're looking forward to? And again, this is all food for thought here. Life is but a blink of an eye. So don't let anyone take away your joy. Don't give away your power anymore. That's a decision, and that's a decision that you can make in time. Just start working on any way that you can start healing yourself. Start there. Don't expect to be all strong and perfect right away. It takes time to heal. But you can start. So I wish you well, and we shall hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now.